Hey guys, Lupo here. I just wanted to take a second to thank you for the continued support on YouTube, Mixer, Twitter, Instagram, and in my Discord. I just wanted to preface episode 4 of Enter the Javelin by saying I apologize. Some of the video for my camera was desynced and it may be a little bit of a distraction, but the audio recorded pretty well, and I think that is the general focus. So once again, I do apologize for that, and I will be a little bit more vigilant moving forward to assure this does not happen again. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into episode 4 of Enter the Javelin, featuring Bags from AnthemInsider.com. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you enjoy. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 4 of Enter the Javelin, Mixer's first Anthem community web show. For those of you that are new here, my name's Lupo and I'll be your host, providing weekly Anthem updates right here on Mixer, YouTube, and soon to be Podbean. Got a great show tonight with a little bit of news and a little bit of drama. Just a little tiny bit of drama in regards to Anthem, as we are less than 2 weeks away from EA Play and E3, but more on that later. Without further ado, we'll introduce this week's guest. Tonight's guest is Bags from Anthem Insider, a website dedicated to all things Anthem. Bags also has his own Twitch stream at twitch.tv/betacake, and you can find the website at antheminsider.com. What's going on, Bag?
Hey, how's it going, Lupo?
I'm really glad that you could be here despite our time zone differences. So just explain a little bit about yourself, your stream, and the website in general. Like, what made you go out and be part of this community like that?
All right. So everything started last year after watching the trailer, and the game excited me. I liked what I saw. I liked it a lot. So I looked for how to get involved, and then I started doing. I did 2 small projects in Unity, and then in the meanwhile, I joined Anthem Insider. I wasn't the guy who founded the project. I was supposed to be a writer and to handle the live stream portion of it, while we would have a podcast as well. And the guy Jibs, who founded the whole thing, he real life happens basically, and I volunteered, I took over, and from the beginning it was about making a community for Anthem that would be friendly, healthy, drama-free, and all about positivity. Even if something's wrong, just stay positive and provide feedback to the devs or anything, and eventually the problem is going to get solved.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. And with all that said, I made my announcement like about six or so weeks ago, maybe. No, it's like 2 months ago now, because I've been doing the shows for almost a month now. And from the day I announced it, you were the first person to reach out to me. It was like immediate. Like I went out and said that this is the way my content was going to go. Next thing you know, on Discord, Bags is messaging me on Discord. So, we had a healthy, lengthy conversation about Anthem, the current development, the community in general, and kind of saw things from a similar perspective. And that's where we kind of started our relationship.
Yeah, I do the same thing with everyone. I don't collaborate with people that are not on the same level, so to say. And it's not about skill level or followers level or anything. It's about having the same mentality. That's what I mean. If people want to get into Anthem or collaborate with me for other reasons, I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, and I think we've done pretty well so far. I think you've done a great job connecting with people on social media and in your Discord. So it's been absolutely incredible, dude. Like, just to see where it was 2 months ago to where it is now, like it's really encouraging to see the positivity that comes with all of this. You know, we started basically saying like, fingers crossed that we don't get this toxic mess of garbage, you know, in a couple months from now. But it's been very good. Like I'm really happy with the way everything has been, and I think you are as well. You know,
I've been working a lot basically. I currently don't work part-time or full-time. I don't have a job at the moment, and that allows me to be online a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm on Twitter basically the entire day, either on my phone, on the tablet, on the computer, all day, replying to people. I don't know why Bioware doesn't do that. I don't know why EA doesn't have people, that have studied and go masters at, marketing and are more qualified than I am to answer things.
Well, I think you're doing a good job as it is so far, but I think you bring up an interesting conversation, and we'll touch on that before we move on with your piece. We don't even, I don't think we really know who the directed community managers for the game are. You know, I think Andrew Johnson has been a guy that I know some of my contacts are in contact with, like Mulehorn Gaming. Like I know that they've reached out to you. They have been in contact with Andrew Johnson, and he is the global community lead for Anthem.
Yeah, global lead community manager, and is his title. And there's also a big lead. I think his name is Lee Williams, and he's also the community manager for Anthem as well. There's a whole team. I don't know all of them. I can't find them on Twitter. I don't know they haven't shown themselves a lot. So there are people. They're moving, so to say, strings in the background, behind the scenes. I don't know all of them. I know only a few.
I mean, well, they have to announce themselves sometimes, and I think in a couple of weeks we'll know a little bit more. Maybe we'll see more of a vocal presence of who this community lead is going to be. But it's a toss up at this point. You know, I just hope that with the things that have happened with games like Destiny and Division, that they use those as the gold standard on how to treat your community and how to take the feedback. You know, Division up front, but Destiny more recently. Like Destiny wasn't always like that well as far as the community engagement goes, but they've been much better lately, and that's the things that I hope for moving forward. You know,
I think they're just waiting. They have everything set up, and they're just waiting for the correct. They have it. I guess they have deadlines, and they have like a schedule.
Yeah.
There's a correct word, but I'm missing it right now. They have a time schedule. I don't know what's the exact word. The info I have, like from sources, is that things should change after E3. I don't know what that means. I'm hoping for an NDA drop, but that's really
I'm sure there'll be some sort of NDA embargo lifted at E3, because they've been pretty tight-lipped, and for how excited people are for this IP. You know, we keep talking about it. We only have 7 minutes of gameplay. That's all we have. That's all we have to go off of. You know, and to build this community around what we've had already is pretty astounding. Like, I don't want to sit there and say like this has been easy, because it hasn't. You know, but I think people like you and I have done a great job with trying to bring these like-minded people together.
You're doing a really good job as well, man. You're promoting the game in your work on Mixer, which is, it's a growing website by the day. Microsoft is throwing a lot of money into it.
Yeah.
And it's growing, and there's a lot of integration into it, which is missing from Twitch and YouTube, like YouTube streaming. The only good thing which I did the previous Saturday, a couple of days ago, I multi-streamed both on Twitch and YouTube, and what I noticed is it's way faster. It's on YouTube. It's like the delay is minimal. It's like maybe a couple seconds.
And now
Whereas on
is that
Twitch,
with
it was
the,
like 5,
I know
6.
Twitch has got they have a new lower latency. Was
Yeah,
that
even
with that?
With the low latency on Twitch, YouTube is still faster. It's like I said, it's a couple seconds. I don't know how. I was even going through Restream.io, which is a website that restreams your stream. I don't know how is that possible.
Well, I mean, I use XSplit, and XSplit can do it all on one streaming software. So I can put multiple sources and send everything out at once. But that's a story for a whole other day. So to get back on topic, because I can talk about stream stuff all day. Like anytime I have like a real passion for things, I'll get sidetracked. So let's keep the topic of no, it's not your fault. It's like I'll do it all day too. So what can people expect from Anthem Insider from now till launch and launch thereafter?
You mean launch of the game, right?
Yeah, from now till launch of the game and then launch of the game till after, thereafter.
Okay, so the plan right now is to just kind of ride the wave, see what we get at EA Play and E3, see how well the gaming community receives Anthem and what EA and Bioware are going to show during the events, the presentations, and from there, I'm hoping for some source of income, so I can hire at least one writer for the website for articles, and at least one person for the social media. I can't do everything by myself. It's a lot of work.
Like even just to like do my own stream on a couple nights a week, just to do all of the social media, all the networking. It's to stream part-time is a full-time job. And people don't always recognize that. So to do what you're doing, like I get all of that. I really do, because you're not doing just one particular thing. You're not sitting there doing the media. You're not sitting there doing the stream. You're not doing the writing. You're doing all of it. You're doing all of it at once. You're trying to manage all of that while doing life as well. Like I find that problem with myself a lot.
Well, that's how you start. You have to put in the effort at the beginning. But Anthem Insider is going to be, the weekly show is going to continue. I hope there's going to be more content to talk about. If there's no more content, like if we get something and then there's radio silence again, I don't know. I want to continue the show and keep it weekly, but if there's no info, at some point during the summer, it's gonna hit, a wall where, what are you gonna talk about? Besides that, I'm hoping I've applied for a Game Changer, which is a program from EA for a partnership for content creators. I hope I can get in, because I want to do things for Anthem, and I want to do things for the stream and for Anthem Insider, which I lack the funds and the exposure for. Yeah. And EA can probably help with that. Apart from that, just articles, on the news, and then the live streams. And once I get my hands on the game and I'm allowed to stream it, I'm gonna be live streaming gameplay as well.
So I mean, are you basing your model off of something else? Like, have you seen something else that you see now that you want to emulate and provide different things for the community? Like one that I can bring to mind is I know you played Destiny in the beginning. You're playing a little bit more now, but Planet Destiny has been a great resource over the last 4 years for Destiny content. So I mean, when I first saw what you were doing, I thought similar types of things, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. They have been very successful over the last 4 years. They've gone through, they have made many content creators more successful than they were with Planet Destiny. Like, these people came in, they're writing for Planet Destiny, they're doing podcasts, they're doing this, and then they jumped to their own thing. It was a springboard to another thing. And like I said, I'm not saying that is particularly your angle at this point, but it's a good starting point to look at. Like, I don't know if you have looked at Planet Destiny before, but very informative.
I'm looking at their website right now.
So like, basically like what they do is like they do like guides every week. So you have
That's it. They have a podcast
like
as well.
a live service game is often ritualistic, you know, where you have a thing that's weekly that refreshes at a certain point. Like, you know, most server refreshes are on Tuesdays. Division was, Destiny was, and I think Andromeda was for a lot of their server reset type stuff, because they did like weekly challenges in the multiplayer. So that's something that they do on Planet Destiny. Like almost every Destiny and Division content creator covers something in that particular aspect. So food for thought, I guess, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at their website right now. They even have a database for Destiny.
Yeah.
These things aren't easy to make, because I had some ideas for other games in the past, and it's really hard to make unless you already tried at least, or have, you know, extensive knowledge on how to set the database up. If Anthem Insider grows a lot, why not? I can hire people to do that. But at the moment, it's a one-man army basically. There were a couple people helping me, but you know, everybody has their own thing to do. People have exams, they have college, they have degrees they wanna, you know, study for, you know. And when a project doesn't pay yet, it's understandable.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's hard.
So we'll jump into the little bit of news that we have. You know, it's been nice that, you know, you and I both started our journey into the live stream web show type thing roughly about the same time. I mean, you started live casting 4 weeks before I did, and I was your first guest. Yes. But basically from the time that we started is when we started getting more news. As ironic enough as that is, you know, like the first couple weeks of yours wasn't like that much stuff, but now it's like, it's not all good stuff. It's not all good stuff, but you know, at least we have something to talk about. There's some contribution to the conversation. So the first thing I want to touch on this week is EA did the Battlefield 5, Battlefield V. I don't know what you want to call it. Yeah, we'll call it Battlefield V.
5. Oh,
okay, 5. Battlefield 5, whatever.
Okay.
But they revealed that this week. It looked very good. Like I'm not a huge Battlefield fan, but it does show you the power of the Frostbite engine, which is what they're using in Anthem. It also did lay to rest a lot of the things that you and I have been worrying about. No loot boxes, no season pass, and setting the bar for EA's future microtransactions moving forward.
Yep.
So what do you think about that, and what does that have to say? Like, what does that mean to Anthem right now?
I touched on it on the last episode of Anthem Insider I did on Twitch on Saturday. I'm very excited. It's kind of late. I can't really show it, but I'm really excited because it looks like it's proof. Because last year, you know, everybody knows what happened with the bad decisions with Battlefront 2, and I've said it many times. People who took those decisions are human. They have careers, they have kids, families, loved ones. You know, their lives are on stake every time they take a decision, and if it's bad, it could cost them their future, basically. If they haven't invested in other things. What DICE showcased with Battlefield 5, it really makes me think that Anthem is gonna, you know, Bioware with Anthem are gonna fall down the same road. You know, cosmetics only microtransactions, no premium stuff. Like Battlefield has had the premium pass since Battlefield 3 from like 2012. That's like 6 years ago, and they dropped it for the first time. That means a lot. It means, you know, they know that people are angry. They don't want, you know, gameplay stuff behind paywalls. And if they're doing this with a well-established IP like Battlefield, surely the EA, you know, has told Bioware, you know, maybe you want to do something similar and, you know, keep everything cosmetic because people don't like it, and you know, it's like, you know, we don't know, but I'm sure it's gonna be like that.
Yeah. Now let me play devil's advocate for a second, because while I agree it's definitely a good thing, I think Anthem's content is going to be a little bit more substantial than Battlefield. Battlefield in the past has been, map updates, maybe a new game mode here or there. I mean, for a game that is going to be titled as a live service or a game as a service that Anthem is looking to emulate, there's a little bit more involved than just some map, some multiplayer maps and stuff like that. So they have to make money somewhere. So what do you think? Do you think there's gonna be like a certain cadence of like when things are gonna come out, or do you think that they're just gonna constantly have like a revolving door of harmless microtransactions? As silly as that sounds, but not predatory, not progression based. Things, because they have to make more money, because the base price of the game doesn't cover content long term. Period. Like that's not a secret. So what could they do as far as a cadence for content, and then a way to monetize that particular content?
I think that's the million dollar question. Yeah. Because we don't know basically. They could go with skins, and then new questions arise. Can skins, like you said, sustain the game for long term? Do skins even work in the game? Because you can do a couple things, release a couple skins, but after that things start to become crazy, and the skins become crazier and crazier, and they might not fit the theme at some point, and it could create issues with immersion or all the stuff. I don't know. It's a 10-year plan, and I'm really wondering. I really want to see how they plan to do it. Hopefully, they're going to touch on that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely. So, one last thing before we jump on to the next thing. So, from a monetization standpoint, if you have to monetize content, would you rather see a monthly sub fee or a periodic, expansion pack?
Personally, I would like the monthly subscription. I gladly paid it for World of Warcraft for a long time, and other games as well, until everything became buy this, and then there's a cash store and cash shop, and then there were items in it that were absurd. There's so many games I played. Aeon, Terra. I'm a big MMO guy. What was the other one? Arcade. Yeah. And they all had this ridiculous, loot box type of thing in their shop, and it just ruined the game.
Yeah.
For Anthem, I would like to see a subscription, and but that though, it's a catch.
Yeah.
If you offer a subscription, it means you have to offer good DLC for that price.
That's my biggest hesitation with a monthly sub fee is that is the monthly sub. Like, I don't have a problem with it if the ends justify the means. If you get the content that you're looking for on a consistent basis, as well as something worthy of your time as well. So basically, if you pay every month and they say every 3 months you're gonna get this, say 20%. Content drop of what the original game was, I'd be okay with that. That's substantial. Even 15% of what the initial game was every 3 months. You're working towards something. Your monthly sub fee is going towards something, and that. But they have to set that precedence up front. If they're going to do a sub fee, they have to say, okay, so you're going to pay every single month, but you're going to get content every 3 months, or you're going to content every 4 months, whatever it is. They that precedence has to be set up front.
So, like I said, with me, for me, it would be either cosmetics or go with a monthly sub and offer maybe a 6 months, update. Even if it's a small update, as long as it's quality, a quality one, I don't mind. I wouldn't mind.
I would definitely agree in that similar vein. So we'll jump on to the next topic, and I know you're gritting your teeth with this one because it's a little inflammatory, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. But last week, the gaming community suffered a loss at the passing of Total Biscuit, John Bain, a YouTube personality, bit controversial at times. So one of an ex-Bioware employee, systems engineer David Crooks, came out and said some very derogatory things about his passing and stuff like that because of the way that Total Biscuit critiqued some of the games and some of the things that David Crooks worked on. Another Bioware employee, a current Bioware employee, Mike Youngbluth, came out and said some other things in regards to that. His weren't necessarily derogatory towards Total Biscuit in general. So his quote says, "If we don't speak the entire truth of a person after they pass and allow their toxic behavior go silent while only applauding their successes, we reward people for their accomplishments no matter how they achieve them, and that's a terrible precedent to set and allow." Now, the only reason I know you said before we got started that you didn't want to touch on this, but the only reason why I said I wanted to touch on this is because of the microtransaction situation. They are making some very promising statements with Battlefield 5, but we can't use that and forget about everything else. There were some bad things that they did, and we can't let something good now gloss over the bad things. And I don't want to take away another thing from this bad situation, because Mike Youngbluth did come out and apologize for his statement, because he is a current Bioware employee. He's only been there since February 2018. He is the lead animator, I believe, or one of the senior animators, and
I think senior
animator. And a lot of people are already coming out, "I'm not buying the game. This guy's saying bad things. I'm not buying the game." Casey Hudson, GM Casey Hudson came out and made a statement about David Crooks, said he was no longer an employee. This is not the way that our employees will speak. Mike Youngbluth is a current employee, and he made his own statement saying, "I'm beyond sorry for the offensive comments I made about the passing of John Total Biscuit Bain. There is no excuse for my behavior. Speaking out against someone in that way I did is something I will always regret. My comments are entirely a reflection of me at my worst, and most certainly not a reflection of the views and values of my colleagues at BioWare and EA. Apologize to everyone I hurt during the difficult times they are facing, and I offer my full respect and condolences, especially to John's family and friends." So that's where we're gonna end that particular topic. Just saying that, like, while David Crooks' statements are heinous, and that's even like putting it very lightly. The thing he's trying to get across is that some of the inflammatory comments that Total Biscuit has made in his career have ultimately been the demise of other studios and gaming professionals' careers. So that's what he was really touching on, and just because of the good that he's done, because Total Biscuit did make a lot of bad situations in gaming aware, more in a more public light, which is definitely a good thing. He also was on a crusade for his own particular things against companies like EA and stuff like that. And those are things that I don't really like. If you have a personal grudge against EA or something like that, like that's fine. But don't bring everybody else down that path as well. Sometimes influencers just have a little bit too much influence, and that's really what I just wanted to say on that particular piece. And I think you'd agree, because we did have that conversation.
The only comment I have about the entire ordeal is that you can't hold an entire company with thousands of employees worldwide hostage or accountable for what one person did while being, either being really angry or, in the heat of the moment, or for whatever reason he thought it was a good idea to do it, which it wasn't, evidently. I think all these people are overreacting, basically. If somebody from Blizzard, comes out tomorrow and does something really terrible, you can't really hold the entire Blizzard, fleet of employees, accountable for it. It doesn't work that way. If somebody in McDonald's, treats you like treats you badly, or doesn't serve you or whatever, you're gonna talk to his manager. You're not gonna be like, McDonald's as a whole treats people badly. Yep. It doesn't work like that. I think people are overreacting, and I'm getting the feeling that A lot of people are looking for things to overreact to and get triggered by, which is absurd for me. Like, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah,
Like,
like people are definitely looking for a reason not to support this project, regardless of you know how good it looks, the pedigree of people that are working on it. You know, so. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll definitely end that there because I don't want to talk about it too much because I think that you know it's not a great situation, and I think the the damage planning is in place at this point, and you know we'll move forward from it now. So the next thing we'll not to just completely roll into the next thing, but we'll roll right into the next thing. The EA Play tickets are in the hands of the attendees, and some of the verbiage is interesting to say the very least.
yeah.
So, you know, we had Sly on here last week. You had Sly on a few weeks ago. His ticket said, let the devs, and I'm not speaking verbatim because I don't remember exactly what it said. Something along the lines of, the developers will show you a new set of gameplay for Anthem. What's your thoughts on that? Because I don't think it's very clear on what we're gonna, or what, I mean, not you and I, because we're not going, but the people that are attending EA Play, what do you think that they're going to get at on the show floor there?
Well, on the we're not going, I was this close to going, but okay. The exact wording is, join us in the Anthem Theater, where the Bioware development team will give fans an exclusive look at a never-before-seen gameplay demo. Because I have the thing, the image in front of me. Something's flying here. It's weird. The wording is weird. Like we expected it to be playable.
Yeah.
So apparently, what's mostly going to happen is they have this session set. They have different hours, like they have every hour a different group goes into the area, the room, and they watch the presentation. That's how I understand it. So I'm guessing 45 minutes of presentation every hour, and then 15-minute breaks for get people in and out and stuff. I expected more. I expected it to be playable on set, like from the crowd. They also have, it says in the rules, you agree to not photograph or record the event except in areas expressly authorized by EA, which means while you're watching the presentation, mobile phones in your pocket and stuff.
Yeah, which is definitely a little concerning at this point.
I wouldn't say concerning. I would say it's not what I had expected, because like I said, I was this close to going there, and I don't want to say I'm glad I'm not going, because it would have been amazing.
Definitely a level like
that would be a lie.
Relieve jealousy, I guess.
Yeah, that would be a lie if I said though, because I also wanted to meet all the people from the community that are going there.
Yeah.
And seeing the game, of course. The thing is, I expected it to be playable, and if I got my hands on it, then I could create content afterwards, based on that. But now you have to depend on whether they're gonna show, and then the no recording rule doesn't make sense because they're gonna be live streaming the event, if I understand it correctly.
Well, I mean, it seems like they're getting like they're gonna get more than what like we as general public are getting. Like the streams and stuff like that are gonna be. This is like what seems to me that we're gonna get something different than what they're getting. So they might get an exclusive look at different things, and we might just get like the canned playback.
Yeah, that's it. That's an interesting point. I didn't think
because
of that.
I like that only thought like dawned on me now as you say live stream, and I was like,
yeah.
If they're giving these people an exclusive look and they don't want cameras, they don't want this, that, and the other thing, what about the live stream? Like you're 100% right.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So I mean that's definitely a possibility, but I think it's a little it's frustrating that it's frustrating for the people that are going and spent a lot of time and money to go. That they may not get what they're expecting or what they initially expected, because
I know of a group that
yeah,
they all going, and then they got the EA Play emails and tickets, and they're like, wait, it's not playable, we're just gonna watch a video. Like I said, the experience is gonna be great, the event and meeting people and seeing all these things up close, but I think a lot of people expected to get their hands on the game and play it for at least
yeah.
a few minutes.
I definitely agree there, and I mean, I use the word concerning, but maybe it's not the best choice of words, but I really expected hands on at this point. The game is it's a year away. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like it's 6 months away.
Mm-hmm.
So the only issue now is that there's limited opportunities, except for private capture events, which they have done in the past, to showcase the game. EA is not usually one for Gamescom or the smaller events like PAX or RTX or something like that. So this is really it, unless like they just pull something out of nowhere and they just surprise us all, which is certainly possible at this point. But EA is super predictable.
It worries me for other reasons. EA Play is supposed to be E3's in-house main event. So if the game comes out on March 2019, when's the big reveal? Like, where's the big Anthem event? Like, last year with Battlefront 2, they did it at EA Play. They had all these YouTubers and streamers, and they played the game live against each other, and they showcased the game. And I expected that it's going to be something similar this year, but apparently it's not. I'm not sure. We're gonna see. If the game is not presented fully now, when is it gonna be?
Yeah, there's two more opportunities. I just, like, everything clicked back now. Is that what they did for Andromeda was that they the Game Awards in December, because that's always a thing. And actually they showed Andromeda at CES also, the Consumer Electronics Expo.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they showcased Andromeda at CES. It was actually on the NVIDIA stage. So, I mean, that's low value for directed market, so we'll I guess we'll have to see.
I also thought about TwitchCon. Maybe they have things in mind to do in TwitchCon, but then you exclude all the YouTube people.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is that the exclusivity deal with Microsoft as well.
Mm-hmm. Does Mixer have an event? Is there a convention with Mixer?
No, Mixer does not have MixCon yet. It's definitely been talked about, but they have huge presences at the smaller conferences like the PAXs and stuff like that. But I don't think PAX is like that place to showcase something from one of the top 3 publishers. Ubisoft, Activision, EA are not gonna. I mean, in the past they haven't gone to these smaller conferences to showcase something like that.
Also, PAX East is like on March.
Yeah, I mean, PAX South is November, December, January. So it's before PAX East. So I mean, PAX South is definitely gonna come up before then. So that's another opportunity as well. I mean, PAX East is definitely the second. I mean, PAX Prime is another one though. PAX Prime is going to be in the fall.
Yeah, there's a lot of conventions, but I'm talking about EA. Like they moved slightly away from E3 to make their own event to showcase their games better. Mm-hmm. So I've said it in the past. I'm gonna repeat it. If we don't get the full package now, if we don't get the best experience now, the best presentation for Anthem, I think it worries me a little bit, because I also have I keep having this this leak at the back of my head, which wants the game to be delayed once again. and get released in fall 2019 and not March.
Yeah.
And it's slowly coming true because it was oddly specific at this point, because the leak came out in March or April, and it said E3 is going to be a gameplay demo, which is exactly what we're getting. This is the exact wording on the emails and the tickets. And then it had marketing, and then the release date as fall 2019. So if we don't get a big presentation now, I think we might see another delay and see the full presentation next year at EA Play. Which
Yeah,
would make sense.
I hope not. I really hope not. But like everything you're saying is not is not out of the realm of possibility at this point, and that's what's scaring me now.
I don't think we should be scared. Like, delays are good in general.
Typically, yes. I mean, yeah. I'm just like anxious. That's the only thing. I'm like super anxious to play this. I've been waiting for this game since 2012. So knowing that it's going to be a little bit longer, it's frustrating, and like I said, I'm anxious. But at the same time, you're 100% correct. Ubisoft did the same thing with pushing back Assassin's Creed, and it was a phenomenal game. So that's the only thing that you can take with those particular things, is that with a delay, you potentially get a much better game.
Here's the thing. I'm hearing conflicting things, and I'm comparing things. I have a lot of sources. Like, I talk to people. Like, there's a lot of people who are under NDA. I can't tell who they are. They're mostly content creators. There's also people within EA, within Bioware, that have told me a little bit, but they've told me to keep it as confidential as possible, and not to say anything. Here's the thing. I'm hearing conflicting things. Like, some people say after E3 things should change.
Yeah.
Some people, like multiple people, say that we're gonna get a lot of info from EA Play and not E3. And then there's stuff I was told last year that the game is releasing in like a year and a half or so. So last year was 2017. A year and a half is exactly 2019, like in March. I don't know. I really don't know. They're very cryptic. I'm hearing conflicting things. Like, the game doesn't have PvP. I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
Yeah. All we can do is sit here and continue speculating. So.
Yeah, people might be trolling. That's why I don't make articles on things people have told me. It's not just because I want to keep their info. I'm not gonna say Lupo told me that, obviously.
Oh, if I tell you something, then just throw it out the window completely. Obviously. All right, so we'll just go right into the next thing, and
sure.
What are your realistic predictions? Like, I mean, we're kind of discussing them here now, but what does your gut tell you on release date? What can we expect for content, and the overall reception?
Well,
if you had to put money on a date or a time, what's your pick right now?
It's hard, dude. I gotta
You've
see
heard
what
too
EA
much.
Play.
You know too much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's conflicting. It's conflicting intel. I want to see EA Play first, but right now, with just based on the emails and the gameplay demo, I'm thinking fall 2019. I don't know how or why. That's why I said the other day, and everybody, some people picked it up and made videos about it. We might see early access, not just EA, EA Origin, the early access you get by.
That's definitely an interesting concept as well, to see a AAA game go into early access as like a not a full release title, but a full-fledged development title, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be interesting.
They need that feedback, and there's only one way to get it, So, yeah, early access games have been very, very popular in the past couple of years and accepted by people. At the beginning, they were like, "Well, I'm gonna pay you for, a game that's not, finished yet." I mean, look at Conan Exiles. I don't know if it classifies as a AAA game, but Funcom is a big company, and they did early access with Conan Exiles.
And that was like, I mean, Ark was one of those first games that really like pioneered that, to where you pay full price and you get access to the game early. And Ark was nothing but a mess from the beginning, and like I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was super skeptical to see a game for $60 and it not be completed. And it's like huge disclaimers on it. I was like, I'm gonna stay away from this, like.
Yeah.
But I think my reservations for something like that would be laid to rest with a game like Anthem or a studio like Bioware. But that's just me. A lot of people don't feel the same way. PUBG was in early access for 6 months. I mean, it's a lot less development to worry about because it's a single game mode, but it's the same sentiment. You pay $30 for a game in early access that the game is out full-fledged now. They're at the 1 point something release, and it still has its issues, so
yeah. I can't, to answer your question, I can't make a prediction right now. It's hard because, all right, I've talked to at least 15 to 20 content creators from all platforms, and they all under NDA, according to them. Why are they under NDA? If they're not gonna be at EA Play and E3 and play the game there, which they're attending the event, I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on. I really don't.
It's
really hard to make a prediction right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna say March 12th. That's my prediction right now. March 12th. It's ever since they kind of said March 19. That's been my guess. But that's kind of where my idea is going. So thoughts on what you think we'll see? PvP, no PvP, and a light touch on endgame. I mean, these could be yes or no questions. Like, do you think there's gonna be PvP?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of end game do you think could be in there, or do you think we could expect?
I really don't know.
Yeah, I know.
The intel is so conflicting. Like, you have on one side you have the analyst I did a Q&A with, and he said you can sustain a game for 10 years without PvP. People are getting bored of it eventually. They're going to get bored of shooting the same gun or shooting at NPCs. And on the other hand, I have people telling me that, there might not be PvP in the game at all. I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, that's a very interesting statement, and I did read that article that the interview that you did with Vasily, and while I definitely agree with you, because games like Destiny and Division right now are excelling because of things like that, and I mean, even look at World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft had PvP, but Borderlands has never had PvP, and for a game that, like, I even said it a couple weeks ago that it's a game that I didn't realize had endgame until I started playing Destiny endgame 5 years later, and people are still playing Borderlands 2. It's such a successful title. People are just waiting for Borderlands 3 to come out, and they have the formula. Whatever it is that they have compels people to play their game. They don't need to have a PvP aspect in it. So, do I think it's possible that Anthem could have it? Yes. Do I think it's probably easier to sustain something with having that? Yes. Do I think it's possible that they won't have it? Absolutely. So yes on all fronts for me.
I think it would be a monumental, a task to achieve for the programmers to make it work, because the verticality in PvP is just gonna make everything so different. Yep. And it's not like Fortnite, with the jetpacks and all that. It's more realistic, so to say. Like, you have these exosuits and stuff. It doesn't really work. The immersion is gonna be easily broken if it's done wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you have like, let's say 5 vs 5 or 4v4 because we know there's 4 people in the group in Anthem. If you have a 4v4 and you have everybody like jumping and like flying all around the place, it's gonna be weird. Like,
what if
the
they
gameplay
had
is
like
gonna feel
had
weird.
like Quidditch, like from Harry Potter,
Yeah, I don't know.
like some kind of like sport game, like Lucio Ball, like they put Lucio Ball
Yeah.
in it or something like that.
Yeah, as an activity, yeah, I could say it worked. Like maybe for a region you can't fly and everybody's grounded and stuff. Um, some sort of force field or increased gravity or
Like a
something.
dome or something, yeah.
Yeah, something that prevents, or just a rule. Your thrusters stay shut off. I don't know. I really don't know.
Leroy saying like Griff Ball from Halo.
Yeah,
I mean, there's definitely things that they can do to not be direct like PvP, but
yeah,
it's gonna make it easier for them to have long-term success just by having PvP. It gives diverse content on a daily basis that you don't have to necessarily like pay to develop.
it's content that creates itself. There's people, it's not NPCs. You don't have to write the code. You don't have to write the what's it called, the behavior for the AI. It's easier. It's a player.
Yeah.
You don't have to write the movements. You don't have to do stuff. The player does everything for you.
So we'll jump into, and I asked the same question to Sly last week. What is something that you want to see in Anthem that's just not necessarily important, but something you would like to see? Like I told him, like I want to see orange Javelin skins. Like that's I want a pumpkin flavored Javelin skin. Like
That's easy.
yeah, no, but like what's like the little quirky thing that you would want to see in the game that may or may not be an expectation at this point, but something that would just make you smile and say, all right, like they're paying attention to this particular detail and it's something that I can appreciate.
Any Easter egg, really. Any Easter egg. Like a puzzle in the game. I saw a video last week. People found a puzzle in GTA 5 after 6 years.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy. So like, do you mean like pop culture reference or like past game reference?
Anything, even like the ARG Bungie did with Destiny.
Oh my god,
stuff like that. Yeah, that would be amazing. It's just really well hidden. That requires real intelligence or real group effort to solve. Not just like scan this code and go to this website. That's really easy.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really interesting to see how they implement some sort of lore into the game and then make that like the driving force. Because I mean, for me long term, that's what Destiny was like. You had all these collectibles around the world to go collect, and each one told you a little bit, a little piece of the story and the lore and stuff like that. So I don't want Anthem to be just a direct replacement for Destiny or a direct competitor for Destiny, but Destiny did do a lot of things good, and Division did a lot of things good, and these are all in the same type of vein that they can definitely take
influence
from. But I mean, BioWare is like the quintessential like sci-fi RPG creator.
Yeah.
Like that they have that going for them already. They're not trying to make something from the bottom up. They're in the middle. They're at least in the middle somewhere. So
yeah. Well, like I said, I want to see a good story and then expand on it. In real life, like ARG, make me hunt stuff.
Yeah.
IRL.
Yeah.
It would be interesting. I'm a big fan of those games. I was following closely Funcom's The Secret World back in the day. What was it? It was way back. Dude, we were digging like tickets from ships from back in 90 something or 1800s or something, like to find a certain name that Funcom people had dug, and they had dug up this name and they lead it to something else, and it was crazy. Like you would have hundreds of people, myself included, just looking for clues and trying to solve stuff. It was crazy. It was really good.
Well, I mean,
It
have
brings
you
the
ever
community
have you ever
together.
looked at there's supposedly an ARG with Anthem already related to well, it's like a I don't know how to explain it. Like, so Anthem before in its development was called Project Dylan. That's not a secret. That's just what it is.
Okay.
Bob Dylan has a song, Zephweiler or something like that. It's the name of a text, and that text is what they use on the website. Like the font is what they use on the Anthem website. So it all ties everything together. Look it up. Like I see the screen on your screen right now, so I know that you're looking at it. Look up Anthem Anthem Dylan, and it's the font starts with a Z, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's the font that they use on the actual Anthem website, anthemthegame.com or anthemgame.com, anthemgame.com.
No, I understand what you're saying. What's the name of the song?
I forget. It's the same name as the font.
Okay.
Anthem Dylan font. Oh, I'm gonna have to send this to you later.
Yes.
It's driving me nuts now. I just don't want to sit there like searching for it and have dead air and everything like that. But so we'll go to the last question. So, what are you playing now, and what do you look to play between now and whenever Anthem drops? Is there anything that's catching, like anything else that's catching your eye to kind of give you that, to placate you until we get to where we gotta go?
I picked up Destiny 2 for $12 on Humble Bundle, basically because it was dirt cheap. I can't say I really like it. It was decent.
It happens.
Yeah, no, it was decent, especially for that price. And it's that it needs work. I don't know. It looks like Bungie doesn't put in the work needed to sustain it. Like, you go into a PvP and there's like, you see the Graviton, you see the Crimson, you see the wings and stuff. You see the same thing every match. There's no variety, and you either have it or you don't. And then you either win or you don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's that like they have like these hard metas, and it's driven everybody nuts since Destiny started. And it's either you are good enough to not be in the meta and not like to basically play around it, or you have to just get sucked in and use what everybody else is using, or you're gonna lose.
Yeah. Besides that, I picked up Raft. I saw Carnage play it.
Raft, R-A-F-T.
Yeah, it's like a survival game. You're on a raft and you basically drift around and you have to survive.
Oh my god.
It's pretty good. I didn't expect it, but it's pretty good.
It's funny too, like Carnage like always does things like that, like constantly playing games that people don't know of it, and that's just been the success of his channel, like long term,
Yeah, some of the things he plays, I don't understand really. How he can like sit and play. What was the last one? The recent one where he was like a teenager in Japanese school. I don't remember what the name of that thing was. It was so weird.
Mm-hmm.
But the three of them, like Zeke and JP, like JP is who inspired me to do the Anthem show. Basically, I liked what they were doing with JP and Zeke, and with the dropped frame show, and that's the inspiration I got.
Okay, so the name of the font is Zanzinger.
Can you send it to me?
Zanzinger, Zanzinger. And it's actually so Anthem was called Project Dylan in its development phase. Bob Dylan has a song called Zanzinger. I'm sorry. The name of the Bob Dylan song is The Lonesome Death of Hattie Carroll.
Yeah, I found it.
And the person's name in the song is William Zanzinger, and then the font used on the Anthem website is Zanzinger. So that's the crazy loop of things that people are going on. So is there anything else like that potentially could be announced at E3 or EA Play that might catch your eye as well? Like something you've been looking for a little while?
I like a game. I don't understand the question.
Yeah, like another game
Uh,
besides Anthem. Like I know Anthem kind of took us all by
in
storm last
between,
year, so
nah, not
nothing.
really. Yeah, not really. I can't think of anything. I might pick up Battlefield just to have something to play.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm hopefully gonna be too busy with the project. To
right.
play.
I mean, that's the dream, you know, is to kind of be happy with doing one thing and not have to worry about playing multiple games. Like that's the way I was with Destiny for the longest time, and that's why the way I hope to be with Anthem. But to elaborate on what you're saying is that like as a content creator, you want to have something that you're invested in, and then like I don't know how these other people like play multiple titles and then cover them as well as they do. You know, some people are literally have
not easy.
guides and everything for every and news, guides and news every single week for every title that they cover. It's incredible. Like a guy like Eric's, like he covers Division, Destiny, Anthem, Monster Hunter. I saw other games in there recently, but it's absolutely incredible the way that some people can cover the games and the level of depth that they do.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, if I get my hands on Anthem and I can stream it, it's gonna be more of playing with the AI community.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like I'm not some pro level player. I would have been, signed with the team already if I was. I'm not terribly bad. I'm aiming to, get the world's first death in Anthem.
I mean, you're not in Australia, so you kind of lose out on that.
True.
Yeah, they get the game first, so.
Damn it.
I mean, that's my goal to kind of see what the end game is in Anthem, and then kind of build a community around that, because that's where I got my start, was helping people through raids in Destiny. Well, that's what my idea was, and for Destiny 2 we did it for a little while. Bringing people through their first clears, and it was the most gratifying thing as as just a human being, like just to help people through something that they can't do by themselves. So I want to bring that level to Anthem as well. Like that's my goal, to like establish the end game and figure out how we can build a community around people that either need help or just love doing it with a frequency that I love to torture myself with things like that.
No, that's great. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
I see a lot of streamers that just disrespect their fans and viewers.
Yeah, like I won't go too far into depth with that, because I think it's a growing trend among the 1% of the 1%, and it's concerning, that just they have like the extra exposure because they've been around for a while, or they're a lot of them are very good at games, and you can't deny those particular things, that these people are good at games, but treat people the way you want to be treated, have decency and respect for people, and that'll trickle down, that trickles down absolutely. But for some people like that, some people like the way that personalities treat other people, and I find it disgusting. Like Dr. Disrespect is 100% an act, but like it gets old quick.
Oh yeah.
Like I'll watch Dr. Disrespect for about 15 minutes or so and then be like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's an act. It's a character. He's not who he is. I don't know how he does it. I would be like, after a while, I'll be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I'd be like, I gotta shave my mustache.
I don't think he's disrespecting. He's player based. I'm talking about other people. Like I've seen.
No. I was just trying to pull something off the top of my head.
Down. Yeah, no, I've seen people like mentally break down and like accuse their viewers about pretty much anything you can imagine.
Yeah, similar conversations I had with Sly last week, and other people of all sorts of different communities, but it's becoming an epidemic, of just these not less than perfect human beings, I guess. And like I don't want to talk badly about people, but just be decent, be excellent to each other. Bill and Ted said it best: be excellent to each other.
I mean, if somebody doesn't like me, I think it's gonna be clear. I don't stick around to say, or
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. If people get on my stream or any of the website or something, and they decide that somehow they think it's their playground, they're getting instantly banned. No questions asked, no messages, there's no warning. I don't play around.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, and you just have to just keep
Yeah.
the toxicity to a minimum and just move along. All right, we're gonna jump here and see if we got any questions in chat.
Mhm.
So this is the point in the show where we'll take questions from chat. If you have any questions for me or Bags about
Come on,
Anthem,
guys.
Anthem Insider, or any other general
I'm not
topic
telling
types of
anything.
questions. Oh, do you think raids will happen? I do. If not like a raid like in the traditional sense that we know, like a WoW raid or a Destiny raid, some sort of multiple player activity. Yes,
Well, yeah.
where you get loot.
At this point, if it doesn't have raids, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that so like they're going for that games as a service ritualistic type of thing that Destiny and Division have been capitalizing on for the last several years, and I mean Diablo has been doing it very well for the last couple of years as well with the way that they do their seasons and stuff. So Anthem has all of the influence in front of them to know what they need to do to be successful with this.
Yeah, it's to move away from this gameplay we're being stuck with for the past, I don't know, decade or so.
Mm-hmm.
Technology has to advance further. I don't know if it's going to be VR, if it's going to be something different, but if we expect something extraordinary from Anthem, I don't think we're going to be getting it. It's going to be, I don't want to say more of the same. It's going to follow a similar path, end game and like raiding, and you're going to have 4 people. Obviously they're going to kill some boss, they're going to do some missions. That's how gameplay is right now. To move away from that, it's gonna take a while.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't know how to further like just reiterate that's where it's gonna be. Since Bioware is doing it, will Mass Effect armor will be added? I think not. They may throw a nod in there or a skin or something like that, but I don't think like the traditional N7 armor will be in the game. EA did an awesome job with that in the past, where they actually put Mass Effect armor and Dragon Age, or Dragon Age armor in Mass Effect, and then Mass Effect armor in Dead Space, and then Kingdom of Amalur stuff in Mass Effect. So I do think that there is something that they're gonna do to pay homage to older things, and they did it. They even did it in Andromeda with their multiplayer stuff. But I don't think there's gonna be like a direct armor set. That I don't think so.
It could be just a skin, just an homage to their past games, but I don't think it's gonna be an exact copy. It might have the badges and the general feel. It could be maybe named like Shepard or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of agree with that.
Come on, guys, you gotta have questions.
Oh, it was a good discussion today, though. So
Somebody posted on Reddit. They talked about having mech related skins. I want to see a Voltron one.
oh yeah, I love Voltron. like I think I was saying to somebody recently, like my entire wardrobe is like nothing but Destiny, Mega Man, and Voltron, and like that's it.
Really?
Yeah, and Mass Effect, and then some Star Wars mixed in. But yeah, I'm a huge Voltron fan, and like I even love like the new Voltron series that's like out on Netflix right now. It's phenomenal.
There is? Wait, what?
Yep. It's a reboot they started 2 years ago, and it's actually really, really good.
I'm gonna
Do
check
you
that.
think it'll drop 4K on Xbox at launch? Absolutely. Absolutely.
forward to it,
I
yeah.
think it'll be in 4K on Xbox. I think it'll be 4K upscaled on PS4 Pro, even though that's not confirmed yet, and it'll be 4K on PC.
Yeah.
But
The
I think optimally we'd all be playing in 1440p, which you can get on PC and Xbox. Because I don't think Xbox can do 4K 60 frames on this game, so it might be better to optimize 1440 and 60 frames.
yeah.
Even on
it's gonna be
Xbox, because I
30.
know Xbox One X can do 1440.
Yeah, last year's footage, it was captured on an Xbox One X, and it was 4K.
Yeah,
But I think it was 30 FPS.
yeah. It looked 30 frames. Like it was clean. The particle effect was really good, but like I said, like the refresh just wasn't there. Speaking of refresh, my camera's just not working awesome today.
I just hope there's gonna be for the PC. There's gonna be like no capped frame rate.
Yeah, well, I hate
This
to
is
continue
my
to talk
one
about it,
thing.
but like there's too many games out right now that are allowing uncapped frames.
Yeah.
That would be very difficult for them to say, okay, we're going to cap it at 60.
Yeah.
Especially with the 11 series or 20 series, whichever they're going to call it, coming very soon.
Yeah, July.
So, whether that's current architecture or next gen architecture on the cards themselves, but I think they'd be very unwise to cap the frames at 60. Like Destiny caps at
It could
200.
be very well a deal breaker for me. Like, believe it or not. But
No, I mean if your rig can handle that, then they should allow it. And
yeah.
Destiny basically rebuilt the game on PC, so that it wasn't hindered by the progress that they made on Xbox or PlayStation 4.
You can't imagine how triggered I am with the capped cutscene. They're
We all
so
have something.
horrible.
We all have
so
something.
horrible. Like, why is the video capped at 60 FPS? It doesn't make sense. Is it 60? Is it set 30? I don't know. It was really laggy when I was watching the cutscenes.
Oh, last year, or the cutscenes on Destiny.
No, on Destiny.
The cutscenes, I think the cutscenes are all on 60.
I think they're 30. I'm not sure.
I could be wrong. Oh, I think if we don't have any questions, we will we'll see our ways out. So,
Come on,
guys, don't forget to check out antheminsider.com, twitch.tv/betacake, and youtube.com/c/Anthem Insider, and that's where you'll see all of Bag's content. So you'll see my cast from 8 weeks ago. I was on his first cast, and then you'll see everything else moving forward. I'm sure Bag's going to be doing a bunch of other things moving forward, hopefully. Fingers crossed, as we all have time and new things to look at.
Yeah.
So next week I will have Montoya, who was also a guest on Bag's show a few weeks ago, and he runs Tarsus Network, which is a fan forum for Anthem, and he will be on the show here next week, and we'll discuss anything else that we learn over the next couple weeks, and that'll be the last stream. Anything that we don't have more information.
Oh.
So less than 2 weeks away to EA Play in E3, where I mean all signs point to the fact that we're getting more information. So hopefully that's where we're at right now, and that's the precedent that they're going to be setting. So next week is Montoya. This week was Bags from Anthem Insider, and then after that I'll do one of my own and kind of just go over the footage myself and just spend an hour looking at another 7 minutes of gameplay. So appreciate everyone hanging out tonight, and we will catch you all next week, June 4th, Monday night, 9 p.m. Mixer.com/Lupo to the rescue. Have an awesome night, guys. Appreciate you hanging out.